What is up, Janksters? Today is a big news day. Wizards of the Coast is announcing a new format that will be coming to Magic the Gathering Arena that frankly sounds really interesting. So the format is called Timeless, as you can see here. Right now on Arena, we have a number of different formats. We have Explorer, which is basically Pioneer Light. We have Standard, which is, well, Standard. We have Alchemy, which is Standard plus some digital stuff, and it follows a different rotation schedule. So the idea is it's similar to a Standard, but with a twist, it is what it is. Then we have Historic, which is a format where the digital cards are allowed to exist, but it is a non-rotating format where it's kind of, up until this point, Historic has been the place where you can play with most of the cards in your collection, and things can get maybe a little weird, a little higher power. It's the closest that we have had on Arena to something like Modern, which obviously there's a whole massive difference between those two. I'm not trying to draw an equivalency here, but it's kind of the closest we've gotten. Well, now Wizards is going to be introducing Timeless. With Timeless, we are going to be getting access to all of the cards that are collectible on Arena. That includes the fetch lands, which are going to be coming with Khans of Tarkir, which is going to be launching next week. So all of a sudden, we've got like some incredibly powerful cards that are going to be available in this format. And you may think, well, wait a minute, we already have a whole bunch of really powerful stuff in Historic. Well, if we look at the Historic ban list, you'll see we have things like Time Warp, we have Brainstorm, we have Lightning Bolt, a Ragavan, there's Spreading Seas for some reason. Now, if you've been playing in the Historic no bans events that they've been running recently, which they cited, apparently, by the sound of it, those were kind of a testing grounds for this format and kind of identifying how they were going to do it moving forward. Based on the information that they've gotten from those formats and from those experiences, they've decided that there will actually be a couple of restrictions. So you'll notice we have cards like the Strixhaven Mystical Archive, the Enchanted Tales. A lot of those cards have been pre-banned in various formats. The one that I want to call out specifically is Channel. If you're not familiar with Channel, this card is an absolute house. Sorcery for green, until end of turn, anytime. You could activate a mana ability. Instead, you could pay 1 life, and you had a colorless. So if you didn't play in the Historic no-ban event, then you may not be familiar with this card. If you did, I guarantee you're familiar with this card. Because the idea of like a turn 2 channel, or even a turn 1 channel, if you've gotten any other fast mana situation going, all of a sudden, you pay 10 life, drop an Ulamog before your opponent gets a chance to do anything. Like, that's devastating, obviously. This card is a whole other level of busted, and it kind of always has been. Like, Channel Fireball is the 2-card combo that can end a game on turn 1 in older formats, or at least it could before this card got banned everywhere. Well, it is going to be legal to play in Timeless. However, it is one of 3 cards that has been added to a restricted list. Now, if you're not familiar with the idea of a restricted list, obviously we have banned and restricted announcements. Well, right now, the only format in paper anyway that follows a restricted list aside from fan-made formats is Vintage. And in Vintage, every card that has ever been printed is legal, with a couple of exceptions, like Chaos Orb and Scheherazade have been banned in that format. But aside from that, it's pretty much free game. Although, there's also all the stuff related to Ante, I guess. In any event, 99% of the cards that have ever been printed in Magic are legal in Vintage, and that's the only format where that's true. However, a number of cards, such as, the Power and whatnot, are limited to a single copy in your deck, and that's called being restricted. And so in this case, this is the first time that on Arena we will have a restricted list for a format. And the 3 cards that are starting on it are Channel, Demonic Tutor, and Tybalt's Trickery. So you can have a deck that has Channel and Ulamog in it for those incredibly explosive plays. However, you're only gonna have 1 copy of Channel. And so all of a sudden, the idea of having that, in your opening hand, it becomes much harder. So you're not likely to be able to pull off that combo with any consistency. And so as a result, it's not going to be a competitively viable deck, most likely. If you're not excited about this, then, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I think this format sounds really interesting. It sounds like the closest that we're going to get to an Eternal format on Arena. It sounds like this is going to match the play experience that people see in formats like Vintage and Legacy, with obviously a significantly smaller card pool. But that's going to change moving forward. This also gives Wizards a free shot to print more busted and more powerful stuff moving forward. If they want to print Reanimate in Modern Horizons 3, for example, they could do so, but Modern Horizons 3 is going to be coming to Arena. So what does that mean can we not have Reanimate on Arena because it would break Historic? Well, no, put it in Timeless. Just pre-ban it in Historic, because that format is a curated environment that they want to have viable, you know, okay, great. So put it into Timeless. Why not? I think that's really cool. The other thing that they've noted here, any card that was specifically made for Alchemy, so it is a digital-only card that exists, will be available in this format. For cards that have been digitally modified, digitally remastered, if you will, the true-to-paper version is what is going to be present in Timeless. So as a result, 3 Fairy, totally viable here. Oko, as a 3-drop, like as it was originally intended, viable here. So all of a sudden, this is going to be an incredibly high-powered format. There will be turn 2 combo kills in this format, I am positive. I don't know exactly what they look like yet, but I guarantee they're going to be a thing. Time warp loops, all of a sudden, you know, brainstorm situations. All of a sudden, Thoughtseize is going to look really important and very valuable. So honestly, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Historic is already super crazy, and now we have an opportunity to show off other super crazy things that the cards that are on Arena can do. So honestly, this is pretty cool. So this is going to be releasing. Oh, and when it releases, they're going to be giving everyone Timeless Dragon, which is a Modern Horizons 2 card. It is a promo, is a 5/5 flyer for 3 white with Plane Cycling 2 and Eternalize for 2 white. So that's kind of cool. So this is going to be launching on December 12th. Alongside the Cons of Tarkir set on the client. So strap in for that, everybody. It is going to be super fun. They're also going to be featuring it on Midweek Magic for the week it launches. So this looks exciting. So hopefully I'll see y'all out there. And we're definitely going to be tinkering with this over on my Twitch stream, by the way. Twitch.tv/hamhawks42. If you want to see me over there, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you everybody for checking out this video. I'll catch you on the next one.